to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private, members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
Sarah Palin on Larry King Live, CNN tonight at midnight.
We talk a lot about saving you money on this program, but in low-income communities, hey, it can be a struggle just to buy food. Saving money, well, it seems like a luxury. This week, we took a look at one program that's working to help low-income citizens get a leg up on financial success.
The facts say that you should be discouraged. The facts say that you should be upset and maybe you should even lose hope, but that's not the truth. The truth is, the facts don't show the will and the spirit of the people that are in this room.
These are tough economic times for people across the country. But in the New York City housing projects, hard times have been around for years. On this night, residents are looking for advice on what they can do to help themselves.
We have a problem in the community when our income rises, but our net worth does not rise.
Ryan Mack is a frequent guest on CNN and owns a financial advisory business. He and his colleagues are visiting low-income communities across New York City. Their goal, to help residents learn the basics of personal finance and inspire them to start businesses.
A lot of us don't know exactly what's out there, what we have out there to offer us. So, with us not knowing, there's no reason for us to go out there and look for it.
Damon Jenkins is one of Mack's proteges. He turned his life around after serving time in prison. Now he owns a construction company and tells his story to encourage others.
I came right out the projects like everybody else, gang banging and, just real crazy for me, and when I got in touch with these guys, they showed me so many different things, showed me how to build my company. I started my own company.
So we have to understand, what do we have and how can we use what we have to create wealth for ourselves?
Rayleigh Rivers works as an insurance salesman, but he wants to start his own green technology business.
I definitely have a goal. I just didn't know how to achieve it. So this seems like a good place to these guys have businesses. So you only ask people who know. And I found people who know.
Mack and his colleagues hope passing on their knowledge will empower Rivers and others here to reach for their own financial success and lift the entire community in the process. All right, this story happened to take place in Brooklyn, but folks in towns near you could be facing the same challenges. Ryan Mack joins us right now. Okay, Ryan, what was interesting about that, because I sat through your whole presentation, was that folks were on the edge of their seats listening to you. They were eager. They were really wanting this information. You say that there are special obstacles in the way of some of these people trying to get ahead. What are they?
Well, first of all, it's lack of resources. It seems like sometimes, whenever there are budget cuts, it seems like the community centers and those things are the first to go. And there are a lot of individuals who say, Ryan, you shouldn't go into the various neighborhoods in which we go into because of certain fear or certain, whatever, to say,
we had to use a pass just to get into the community room.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think there are a lot of stigmas and stereotypes about public housing communities. And I think that if we're going to really try to help the entire community, we have to be not afraid to go into those communities who need it the most. And it's, quite frankly, it's a crime that the politicians only really come around when there's the cameras rolling or during election time. So we have to make sure that we have to be very proactive about making sure they get the resources that they need before something of a disaster happens.
Two things I thought were interesting. Folks are most interested in starting their own business. That seemed to me to be the thing that people wanted to do. That, and they were most interested in building community. You know, it wasn't necessarily about, savings, methodologies. It was really about how do we bring the whole community together.
Well, the thing is, none of us is as smart or as strong as all of us. And together, we can really make a difference if we all come together. I think if we learn anything from this election is the power of the voice of the people, if we really try to come together to create change. And we might have not enough resources individually, but if we come together, we can purchase homes, we can start businesses, we can intellectually have conversations and empower each other through conversations and training courses that we can create for ourselves. A lot of these things, we don't have to wait for legislation to pass or other things to make the decisions.
Start now.
Yeah, we can do these things for ourselves.
Now, one thing interesting you were telling folks to be wary of, that there are some institutions, some businesses in their communities that are really trying to take advantage of them.
Well, the bottom line is, you know, there's sometimes a lack of information and a lack of resources and knowledge in the community can bring about these predators who really prey upon individuals.
Who are they?
You know, we have these prepaid debit cards, you know, the rush card. You know, I always speak out against the rush card because it has so many these and other prepaid debit cards.
What is a rush card?
Well, essentially the rush card and other prepaid debit cards, what they do is essentially they charge, they have a $20 initiation fee, they have a $5 fee if you want to return items off of it, they have a $3 a month inactivity fee. They have
Why wouldn't I just open a bank account?
Well, exactly. So the main thing is that if we educate our individuals in the communities to open up our own bank accounts, to start our own businesses, so we don't have to rely upon these individuals who are preying upon the lack of knowledge that we have, then we can really take a step forward in true empowerment.
Well, Ryan, great presentation.
Right.
I just love what you're doing. It's fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Well, I would just like to say kudos to you and your staff and the rest of CNN and really coming out there and telling the story of all America. It really tells a lot about you guys as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Finding a job right now is a tough task, especially if you haven't been in the workforce for a while. How to get that job? Next.
Project Savings, brought to you by housevalues.com. Find out what your home is worth free at housevalues.com.
This is one way to find out what your home is worth.